Live, News 8 at 6 starts now.
How did a New Haven police officer assign himself 6 figures worth of extra duty? Internal Affairs wants to know. New at 6, an exclusive News 8 investigation.
Plus, a stun gun study, when they are used and on whom.
And most of the 4th of July forecast looks good, but thunderstorms could play a role in any fireworks displays that are scheduled for tomorrow evening. My full forecast is coming up.
A News 8 investigation, an Internal Affairs investigation into a New Haven police officer. Good evening, I'm Ann Nyberg.
And I'm Scott McDonald. Some big questions tonight after the officer earned 6 figures just in extra duty. News 8's Jason Newton has been pouring through documents for weeks now. He's here now with this exclusive story. Jason.
And Scott, our investigation reveals that there were several red flags involving police extra duty shifts and specifically the officer who was in charge of assigning them. Those red flags were enough for the chief to call for an internal investigation. Earlier this year, New Haven police officer Dennis Mastriano was reassigned to a new unit. He had been in charge of assigning extra duty shifts. Documents obtained by News 8 show Mastriano's salary was around $62,000 last year, but in take-home pay for the year, including extra duty and overtime, Mastriano brought home $192,733, making him the highest-paid police officer in the city. Mastriano pulled in $107,000 last year alone in extra duty shifts. Other rank-and-file officers in the department complained that they were not getting any extra duty work and took those complaints straight to the mayor.
A number of police officers had contacted me to say that they were not getting the extra duty jobs that they thought that they should get.
Many New Haven officers also complained directly to Police Chief Dean Esserman. An Internal Affairs statement to News 8 reads in part, the chief's office received several complaints from officers alleging that the extra duty police work was not being distributed in accordance with the union contract. At the time of these complaints, Officer Dennis Mastriano was assigned as the extra duty officer. An Internal Affairs investigation is now underway focused on Mastriano, and he was quickly reassigned. Chief Esserman was out of office Thursday but sent News 8 a statement laying out a timeline and actions he requested. Over a month ago, an allegation of impropriety was made regarding the handling and assigning of extra duty jobs for officers. I, in turn, asked Internal Affairs to investigate the allegation.
We've got to look into why that occurred and what caused it to occur and if there was any wrongdoing.
While not going into much detail, Mayor Harp says the city will make sure there's checks in place to stop abuse and favoritism of extra duty work. The Internal Affairs investigation is expected to wrap up soon. The results will determine if Officer Mastriano will face any discipline. Live in the studio, I'm Jason Newton.
If you have a story you want the News 8 investigators to look into, call the number on your screen, 203-402-TIP-8.
Okay, well, fireworks canceled this Friday night. Many postponed due to the rainy weather.
So how bad will the weather be? Let's get right over to Fred to find out. Fred, what do you think?
Well, it won't be raining in the entire state at the same time, but the threat is great enough that that's probably a good call to cancel those fireworks, particularly when there are thunderstorms in the mix. Temperatures right now ranging from the mid-70s in New London County and up in the Northwest Hills to a lot of 80s elsewhere. Beautiful out there at this point. Sunshine, a few fair weather clouds for us. Big picture, this is the line of showers and storms still back in the Great Lakes that'll be closing in on us by this time tomorrow. So let's go hour by hour through the night and through the day tomorrow. Quiet weather for us this evening. Clouds starting to gather tomorrow. A few hit and miss showers are possible during the day. It'll be a warm, breezy and muggy day. See scattered showers 3 in the afternoon tomorrow. As we head through the evening hours, showers and thunderstorms are possible. Here they are showing up. It looks like northwestern Connecticut, say 8, 9 o'clock in the evening. Same deal for us at the shoreline as well. So that's why a lot of those fireworks displays that are scheduled for tomorrow are being postponed to a later date. However, the weather looks really nice for any fireworks displays that are later on in the 4th of July weekend. I'll be back in just a few minutes with that part of the forecast.
All right, so the fireworks that are postponed so far, Derby is postponing to Sunday night from Friday. Milford is pushing them to next Friday. Middletown is pushing them to Saturday night. Shelton to Sunday. And Naugatuck is pushing its show to Saturday. You can always check out the fireworks anywhere, all over the state, on our website, WTNH.com.
New tonight at 6, the case against a woman who is accused of rear-ending Fairfield Police Chief Gary McNamara back in 2014 has been dismissed. Chief McNamara had to be cut out of his police cruiser and was hospitalized after that crash. Police charged 40-year-old Anik Margot Winokur with following too closely, traveling unreasonably fast, and reckless endangerment. Those charges have now been dismissed.
Stun gun use in the state. A new study by Central Connecticut State University says more minorities get tased than white people. News 8's Jackie Slater spoke to the lawmakers behind the study to get their reaction. She has the findings for us.
Are tasers being used too frequently? And just how are they being used? The findings from the 2015 Electronic Defense Weapon Analysis has some lawmakers behind the study alarmed.
I think that tasers are supposed to operate in a non-lethal way, but the go-to ability of a taser makes it dangerous, actually.
In 2014, the Connecticut General Assembly set policies and regulations for the use of tasers and started requiring police departments to report each incident. Lawmakers say the resulting study is the first of its kind in the country.
We have to build up more trust between our communities and our law enforcement community, and we think this is a positive step to do that.
Last year, 79 police departments reported their information. In total, there were 100,000 arrests and 600,000 traffic stops. 610 of those involved tasers, and 53% involved minorities. 60% of white males in taser incidents received an electric shock, compared to 66% of Hispanics and 81% of blacks. Most of the people were unarmed, and about half of them were under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Lawmakers say they will continue to collect and report the data and are hopeful the result will be better relationships between law enforcement and the public.
What it says to me is what I think many of us already suspect, that interactions between the police and minority communities aren't always what we expect them to be, and that we need to do a better job.
Reporting in New Haven, Jackie Slater, News 8.
And we are now learning why police started investigating the Clinton teenager known for making armed drones. Police say that when 19-year-old Austin Howard got into an altercation with police last July, he recorded that on his phone, which then became evidence. When police looked at the phone, they say they found images of children in obscene performances, as well as a conversation that Howard allegedly initiated with some children where he asked to meet and talked about a sex act. He's now facing charges of injury to a minor and possession of child pornography.
More than 4 years after a Christmas Day tragedy in Stamford, the legal case can now proceed. 3 young children and their grandparents were killed in the Stamford fire early on Christmas morning 2011. The legal case against the city now hinges on the contractor that was working and living with the mother of the children in the home.
My client will be available for his deposition. He's already sat through 3 days of testimony, so he'll sit for a fourth, and we've worked all the issues out.
Michael Borsina's attorney also says he will produce the construction documents the city needs to defend itself, and then contrary to published reports, is not missing. The agreement was reached following a 1-hour closed-door meeting with Superior Court Judge Grant Miller.
Transgender people and the military. Up next, we'll have more on a major announcement just made by the Pentagon on that issue.
We'll tell you more about the problem that promises and promotes language skills and literacy for children in Connecticut.
Plus, important information this weekend, staying safe while using fireworks. We've got your back with what you need to know when we come back. And a major change for the U.S. military. The Pentagon announcing this afternoon that it will allow transgender individuals to serve openly in the U.S. military. They can no longer be discharged or barred from service for being transgender. Some senior military leaders say the department is moving too fast. Changes set to be phased in over a year. We're reaching out to local LGBT communities to get some reaction on this major announcement.
Today, a statewide program is announced at Yale New Haven Hospital. It's called Books for Every Baby. The program will provide the family of every newborn in the state with a book as well as literacy guides. The initiative is part of Read to Grow. It's very important as a child starts learning as soon as they are born.
One of the ways for that baby's brain to develop is for them to hear words. One of the ways that they hear words is their parents are talking to them, they're reading to them. Of this issue, I think, is
Today, Read to Grow provides 58% of newborns in our state with books. The goal of the program is to bump that number up to 100%.
Dropping off old medications getting a little bit easier. Over 50 towns and cities across the state will now have medication drop boxes. You can find them in the lobby of the police department. We're told there will be no questions asked. Just drop off the unwanted medications and they'll be safely and securely destroyed.
Some changes are coming to the Pearl Harbor Memorial Bridge. We'll tell you what they are coming up at 6.
And what you need to keep in mind when playing with fireworks. We've got some safety tips headed your way. First, here's Fred.
Mother Nature has some plans for fireworks of her own on Friday evening. Thunderstorms coming through on Friday. We'll talk about the timing of those storms coming up. First, though, let's look outside tonight. Beautiful evening underway in Middletown. The 8-day forecast, including everything you need to know about the 4th of July weekend, up next.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're playing with fireworks this weekend, there are a few things you need to know to make sure your family stays safe. News 8's Sam Cantrell has your back with some sound advice tonight.
4th of July, Independence Day, and there are lots of ways that you might be celebrating, including lighting fireworks. There are ways to do it safely. Here are 8 tips. To avoid chaos, confusion, and a potentially dangerous situation, designate one person to light your fireworks off in your group. Use common sense. Do not take fireworks and leave them in your pocket. Keep them in a bag and make sure you keep them away from open flames. Sparklers can be a lot of fun, but can be incredibly dangerous because usually kids are using them without adult supervision. So if you do have any young people that are going to be using sparklers, make sure that you watch them very closely. Your pets are probably a little bit skittish, so make sure that you leave them inside the house when you are doing fireworks outside. And speaking of inside the house, if you're planning on partaking in an adult beverage, make sure that you are not the one who lights off those fireworks. Now, where you light your fireworks are very important, especially this year because the grass is so dry. Always light them on pavement. And if you do get a dud, make sure you leave it alone for 20 minutes, watch it very closely, and then drop it into a bucket of water. And speaking of bucket, make sure you keep one handy in case of an emergency and also use it to dye out all of your fireworks even after you use them. Have a fantastic and a safe 4th of July. I'm meteorologist Sam Cantrell, News 8.
The Pearl Harbor Memorial Bridge in New Haven will be lit up for the July 4th. Red, white, and blue lights will shine on the bridge this weekend starting Sunday night and again, of course, on July the 4th. Gil out in Groton this morning for the first morning of the Gil on the Go segments. He'll be out in a different location on Thursday mornings throughout the summer. Be sure to tune in to Good Morning Connecticut for all the action, and you can see where he's going and come out and see him as well. WTNH.com. Getting back to the Pearl Harbor Memorial Bridge, last night it was lit up in blue, green. So if you see the bridge now, it's capable of lighting up in all different colors.
Very
it's
cool.
Awesome at night.
Yeah, red, white, and blue this weekend, I'm sure. And we did start at the top of the newscast with some firework cancellations. So where are we looking other than that?
Well, we have some thunderstorms coming through for tomorrow, and that's going to cause some issues with those fireworks potentially. So probably not a bad idea to cancel them. And Sam was mentioning in his story about the lack of rain and the potential for some fires to start as a result of some fireworks. And this is the drought update. 40% of the state now is in a moderate drought, that darker shade of brown. Not many areas along the shoreline in the drought. 35% of the normal rain in Bridgeport for the month of June, and only 46% for Windsor Loch. So a very dry month of June. And tomorrow is our best chance at rain in the next, say, 6 or 7 days. Temperatures right now about 80 to 85 degrees on average, and nice and warm at the shoreline as well as inland this evening. It will get muggy tomorrow briefly, particularly overnight, but by Saturday morning, the wind shifts to the west, brings right back some very pleasant air for this time of the year. For early July, it's just going to be terrific. A few thin clouds off to our west, and we'll have mainly clear skies overnight. We'll start to see the humidity creep up a little bit for us tomorrow. It's this line of showers and thunderstorms is way back there in the Great Lakes that we're tracking for tomorrow in the evening primarily to come moving through. Clouds gather tomorrow. A couple of spotty showers are possible during the day, but not expecting any widespread widespread rain. That's now 3 in the afternoon. But as we hit around sunset, a line of thunderstorms will likely develop off to our west and come moving through the state from west to east during the evening hours. Best chance of seeing a strong or severe thunderstorm is in the western part of Connecticut. By Saturday morning, all the action is moved offshore. Sunshine in the forecast. Beautiful weather Saturday. Saturday night, Sunday will carry it right on through the 4th of July as we will see seasonably warm conditions and low humidity all weekend long. The severe weather threat for Friday, about a 5% chance of seeing a severe thunderstorm in the far western part of Connecticut, and that's primarily during the evening. You can see that there's a greater risk of severe thunderstorms farther to our west. Mainly clear skies overnight. It will turn a little bit muggy by dawn. 65 at the shoreline for low, about 62 inland. A few showers here and there tomorrow, but dry most of the time. Breezy, turning humid. Temperature in the upper 70s at the shoreline. Inland will be in the mid 80s. Not the best beach day for tomorrow, but as we head into the weekend, check out this beach forecast. Near 80 all 3 days with lots of sunshine. You can catch a quick sunburn though if you're not careful, so grab that sunscreen. Fireworks forecast. Scattered thunderstorms tomorrow night. Saturday and Sunday night though both look great with temperatures in the mid 70s and not much in the way of cloud cover out there. 8-day forecast. I would imagine a lot of people are probably taking next week off, just tacking on to that holiday, and it looks like a very summery week. Temperatures in the mid 80s with dew points climbing, and that'll mean that the overnight lows are going to be mid to upper 60s during the middle part of next week. May reach 90 for a few days actually inland. So all week long we've been advertising a great 4th of July weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and thankfully nothing has changed.
It's coming true. Sounds good.
Thanks so much. All right, time now for sports.
Live, this is Sports Edge, sponsored by your local Connecticut Chevy dealers.
It has been all about the ninth inning for the Yankees the last couple of days. Lost a tough rain-delayed one to Texas at 3 a.m. Wednesday morning. Bounced back that night to steal one from Texas and then walked off again this afternoon. Final game of the 4-game set at the stadium. First inning, the only mistake Michael Pineda made came here on his first battery faces of the game. Sin-Soo Choo pokes it. 1-0 Rangers. Only run Pineda gave up. He struck out 12. Fifth inning, the Yankees would answer. Last night's ninth inning hero, Didi Gregorius, homers again, his 8th of the year. That makes it a 1-1 ball game. To the ninth, still all even. Chase Headley out on third base, and the ball gets by Texas catcher Robinson Chirinos, and Headley's going to make a break for it. Great slide, wins it for the Yankees. Yanks win on a walk-off pass ball. Don't see that very often. 2-1 the final score. Today at Wimbledon, some of the men advanced to round number 3, including Andy Murray. He was a straight set winner. Also advancing on the men's side, John Isner. On the ladies' side, Agnete Radwanska needed all sets to advance to the next round. And how about Venus Williams taking on Maria Sakkari? Sakkari wasn't even born when Venus turned pro back in 1994. Venus moves on with a 3-set win. Last night, the most decorated Olympian made more history. 22-time medalist Michael Phelps qualified for his 5th Olympic Games, a record for an American male swimmer. Phelps won the 200-meter butterfly at the Olympic trials. He said this one is different after his arrest for drunk driving and a rehab stint.
I think just with everything that's happened and sort of being able to come back, that was probably harder than any swim I've had in my life. Just being able to finish how I want to was so important to me. And getting on this team was what I wanted to do.
Phelps will likely swim multiple events in Rio. Time for a quick break. When we come back, playing games to become a better cyclist. We've got a program introducing kids to the sport. See you in a few minutes. Getting on a bike for the first time can be a bit overwhelming. One program in the state is helping young riders learn and thrive in the sport of cycling. The Connecticut Cycling Advancement Program is helping riders ease their way into the sport. Every week at Rensselaer Field in East Hartford, riders of all ages and skill levels get a crash course on the bike. They make the learning fun with games that teach cyclists how to control their bikes and their bodies.
The great thing is that the sport allows them all to come together and really share that passion that they enjoy. So we organize a league that they all race in and train in together, and we're in middle schools, high schools. We also start youth travel team programs.
It's made me a lot less sketchy of a rider by learning which wheels to take, which side to draft on. It's just taught me how to be a better rider in general.
The group started 3 years ago. No charge for riders under 18. And again, it's every Tuesday night at Rensselaer Field in East Hartford. They do games like football on the bike. They lean on each other to kind of balance themselves out.
And my friends who do that, once they start, they really get into it. They catch the bug. Yeah, they love it.
And we'll have more on that tonight on Sports Edge 1045.
All right, thanks so much, John.
Good to know. Lots of information needed for those fireworks in this holiday weekend. Let's check in with Fred.
Scattered thunderstorms for us tomorrow during the evening hours. Those could cause some problems with some fireworks displays in Connecticut. No such worries, though, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. Beautiful during the day. Lots of sunshine, low humidity in the forecast, temperature about 82, 83 all 3 days at the shoreline, and it will gradually get warmer inland. The temperature inland should be about 82 or 83 on Saturday, but then up to 85, 86 or so on Sunday, and getting closer to 90 by Monday afternoon. It'll stay dry right through the holiday weekend, right through the 4th of July, and then into the middle of next week.
Be a good weekend and download the weather app so you know exactly where you're at and how your party's looking. Well, tomorrow night's really the only dicey night.
Always a good time to get the weather.
It's always a good time. Or you can just follow Fred. He's been firing out tweets like a maniac today.
You are a good commercial.
Hey, we get it done. All right, sounds good. That's our time for now. Remember, you can always get the latest news, weather, traffic online anytime at WTNH.com.
See you later. Good night.